am Amanda Wacker.
Hola, I am Lennice Castro.
สวัสดีค่ะ I'm Asama Lekpo.
And we are the Triplicates. Welcome to the third episode of our podcast. We're three first-generation women of color currently in our first year of our PhD at UC San Diego in the Division of Biological Sciences.
So last episode, we just wrapped up how we felt about our first quarter and our first rotations. Now we're going to start our third rotation. How do we feel about that?
A week was not enough of a break.
We had 2 weeks.
I
had
know,
2 weeks off.
But I gave my end of rotation presentation on Monday. Monday?
The Monday after.
The Monday after, so I still felt on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I had a interview, I don't know, it's like about with a potential PI that Monday and that poster presentation thing that I never wanted to talk about ever again. Yeah, it's fine.
It was what, 1.5 speed?
We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. I just will always keep that in mind every time I do a poster now. I'm like, okay, never do this again.
And I was also slightly behind on writing in my lab notebook. Sorry, Matt. But so I had to finish that after my presentation. So I don't feel like I got 2 weeks of break.
Do you like
fine.
electronic lab notebooks better than paper ones?
Okay, so I've taken notes in several ways, and I think my favorite, personally, I like electronic because you're able to add images.
Yes.
But
You're not
I prefer the electronic version of my notebook to be my iPad instead of Google Docs, which a lot of people use.
What do you
So
mean
you
your
type
iPad?
on your iPad in the lab?
No, I write. So I like.
Oh, you handwrite them into a...
Yeah, unlike people, I do like the way I write, and I can read my writing, and most people can. So there's one summer internship that my lab notebook was my iPad, and I used Notability, and I took my notes on there.
But did you do your lab notebook in paper and then transfer it?
No.
Or you were just gloves on, writing?
I would take my gloves off.
Okay.
To write in my notebook.
Yeah, I don't think I could carry on my well.
You take notes during lab.
You're supposed to take notes during
But,
lab.
I guess I'll scribble on paper.
Oh, and then
what I'm
transfer.
doing, and
Okay,
then
so there's
transfer
still
onto...
a transfer step. Okay.
Yeah, I've always had a little handy notebook for the lab, but then afterwards I would transcribe that onto some sort of electronic notebook. Also, another reason for that is because in industry, when you're trying to make a drug or a product, your lab notebook has to be crystal clear, because when they go in and audit it, if they see any problem, they would know what happened. So we have to have an electronic notebook. And I remember one of the companies I first joined, the first 2 weeks were dedicated to what kind of lab notebook do we want to spend money on, what features do we need, what sort of registry or different molecular tools do we need, and not just something that we write documents on. So it's a big deal. But I guess for grad school, it's whatever works for you for now.
Wait, can you describe your lab notebook process?
Yeah, well, in industry it depends on the company, but usually we have sort of a planning or an overall plan, and then each entry for each experiment, and then conclusion, raw data, raw data and then conclusion, and then lab report. So
wait, not a lab report after chem lab.
Chemistry 14A.
It is like that, except your director reads it.
Oh my
god.
God.
It's supposed to be clear enough that someone from the FDA doing auditing can understand it.
Wow.
So we do read right in.
That's actually very nice. I like that system, because that's the whole point of writing in a lab notebook, is that someone else can pick it up and be oh, well, I need to do what they did 5 years ago. Let me just...
Yeah.
But...
And like Lennice said, being able to add pictures is great as well. And some lab notebook programs, you can add molecular suites, so you can tag exactly what construct or what DNA things you build, and
What are
you can
molecular
attach
suites?
to registry, so you know like what strands are being used. Yes, Lennice.
What are molecular suites?
Molecular suites. It's kind of like a combination of what you would need to clone, to design primers, to see
so
like
for molecular biology.
Yeah, like where
tools,
things would go. Yeah.
Electronic things.
And I've worked with bacteria mostly, so those things come in handy because I would have all my plasmids, my bacteria strains, and like try to do different cloning techniques in one place.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I sidetracked us. I just really wanted to hear about, because it's like you had professional lab notebook taking experience, and I just thought that would be interesting to hear. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, but I don't do that now because that seems like a lot. No
yeah.
one is auditing my writing except for like my professor.
But like technically, like
You're
the whole
supposed
like
to.
yeah.
Like the NIH or NSF, whoever's funding you, should be able to come and be like.
But
what
are they
do you
going
do?
to?
Oh, that seems like
But
a lot
they're
of lab notebooks.
Like if they wanted to, they could ask for your stuff, and if you don't have it, you're screwed.
Dang.
Interesting.
Interesting.
How do we feel? I almost said rotation 2. It's rotation 3. How are we feeling? Asama, you definitely texted about it earlier. Me and Asama are going to be in the same lab, but we're having very different experiences.
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think part of it is me being nervous about it because this lab is one of the main reasons why I wanted to be here. They do really good science. They use really unique study model, and my project will, sort of teach me how to use this really cool tool in biology to study genes that are at play when these bacteria interact with other organisms. So for me, it's phage, and phage are a virus that infects bacteria. So it's a combination of like, oh my god, this is so cool, this is my dream, and also I'm learning this big important thing, and also I haven't been in a lab in like a week or two, so I feel a little rusty.
After 2 weeks?
I know.
Well, okay, my last rotation, I didn't really do molecular cloning.
Okay.
Or I didn't really, well, I'll just say it, I didn't use any filtered chips. So it was
a little
different
more
vibe.
high stakes, yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm working with my peer mentor Tara, so it's gonna be great.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited and nervous, but let's just channel that into excitement.
Yeah, that's all. You're nervous because you're excited.
Yeah.
That's all it
What
is.
about you, Amanda?
I don't feel as nervous. I think every time I talk to people, I'm like, wow, I am maybe too chill about this whole experience. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it's a good thing.
I was thinking about this. I don't know, we could probably do a whole episode about this, but like I think detached my like worth from like anything really. And it's just like not like that.
Anything. Oh no.
Should we have a different kind of meeting right now?
No.
Are you okay?
I'm just saying no, I'm fine. I just mean that like my worth is not rooted in the fact that I do want like this, or that I am doing science, or that I'm like, I don't know. I think so once I got my head out of that, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna be a good person regardless of whether or not I do well in this rotation. And that's just like, oh, okay, like I'm just gonna do my best, but if things go wrong, it's not really my fault if I'm doing my best. Like that's as much as I can give. So I'm gonna do what I can and still try to be a happy person in myself and whatever. And obviously I don't want to like disappoint anybody, but like I don't know if we're just gonna have to have like talk about what your expectations are and tell you where my expectations are.
Yeah.
And then we go from there.
That's a good point actually, because tomorrow I have a meeting, like our first meeting as a group, and on my to-do list is definitely setting expectations, setting goals, and like...
What does that mean to you guys? Because I feel like everyone's been telling us, oh, like your first meeting with whoever you're rotating with is like set expectations.
I asked them like, what do you want from me by the end of this? And they'll be like, oh, I want you to either give me, like, have all your notebooks transcribed so that someone can look at it, or I want you to give me this PowerPoint explaining, like, I expect you to understand the background of this project to this extent. And then that way it's like, okay, like, some people don't care that much that I knew what was happening beforehand. They're like, here's one paper. and then we're going to throw you in lab because you basically know how to do all this, like, molecular biology techniques. But other people, like, Matt was, like, write a whole proposal.
Yeah.
Like, that was his expectation of you, you know? So, Asama?
Yeah. I think it differs between labs for sure. For me, like Amanda said, the expectation is what tangible work do you expect all rotation students to produce at the end of this. But also during setting expectations meeting, I asked my supervisor or lab people, how do you communicate? What's the best way to reach you? And sort of understand what the expectation for frequency or like intensity of expectation is. And that's why I try to sit in on lab meetings before I join the lab, because I want to see how students are interacting with each other and different members, like postdocs or professors. So that gives me an idea of where to land rather than trying to figure things out later. I mean, nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah.
I just want context of what the group is like and how they vibe with each other.
That's smart. Like, when you were like, oh, who's going to come to are you going to come to this lab meeting? I was like, why would I go to their lab meeting? Like, I'm not going to be there for, like, a month and a half. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But, like, now I see why you did that. I don't know if I would do that. It's, like, a good idea, but, like, I don't know. It's kind of scary to just be like, oh, I'm going to be here in a month and a half, but I'm going to just sit here. Like, you guys don't know me, but I'm going to just sit here. I think I'm more nervous about that.
Yeah.
It's okay. I feel like I've talked to all the people in my 4th rotation, though, that, like, so I would be able to sit in a lab meeting and not feel weird about it.
It's like
already
you
come
showed
to
up
lab
beginning.
meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be there.
Do you just still go to lab meetings?
No, Alistair and...
Oh,
words.
oh yeah, they have joint ones.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh yeah, then maybe I will just go.
Yeah,
It depends on the time, I guess, and like the way my experiments are going. But
And Asama would just come.
because you have that long-term plan of
I will be there. Yeah.
infiltrating the enemy before.
I'm like a long-term plan person. Oh, speaking of long-term plans, have you heard of Gantt charts?
What?
Oh, it's like an extreme long-term plan
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
method where you have different deadline and different handoffs and like when this project ends and when the next one begins. Love that stuff from industry. Maybe we can talk about that later, but
So you
I'm
want
all
me
about that.
to be more stressed than I already am.
Well, so wait. Are you for like your life or like for like a project?
It's really helpful to have that for like a project, especially multi-year ones. I think a lot of our professors sort of have to build something like that when they write a grant. So I think it's helpful to think about, but not immediately because our time is so short, like 6 weeks.
They asked us to do that 5-year...
Oh, the IDP,
Yeah, and I was like,
individual development plan.
Yeah. Before we were in a lab, and I was like,
Do you remember what you wrote?
No.
Oh,
Do you?
Yeah, I remember my first year and was like, I want to find a lab I'm happy with, and then I said I wanted to present at a national conference, which I did technically.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy the experience, but that's my own fault. But there we go back to the whole like, oh, the worth thing. Like it's like, oh, I know I didn't do a good job, but like I don't think of myself as lesser because I messed up one thing. Like I'm like whatever. And then I think I had 3 things, but I don't remember what it is now. But I think those were my 2 ones I remember writing down. Is like find a lab I'm happy in. But like obviously we're in the process of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I'm going to have a hard time. I don't know. I feel like or some people I've talked to, they're like, oh, when they joined the lab, they just knew. Like, that was the lab they were supposed to join.
Have you felt like that?
I haven't felt like that, but I've definitely, like, really liked the lab and, like, been excited to go to lab. So maybe that was the feeling. I just haven't accepted it. Which is a thing I do often, so maybe I should just check
things?
myself.
Once again, this is a different kind of meeting.
Like trying to decide if I was gonna go to UCSD. Like like my boyfriend was like, "You knew you were gonna go there as soon as you left the interview. You just didn't want to let yourself know that." And I was like, once again, psychoanalyzing Lennice. Okay,
these are actually just therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Interesting. We're not gonna dig too deep into that one today.
Not.
I'm not trained, so I don't want to uncover something.
But the rotation, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
Nervous, excited.
We're all gonna be on the same floor.
I know. It's gonna be a mess.
Oh, we can do
a beautiful
TikTok.
mess.
Totally.
I didn't think about that.
Ooh, okay. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We'll be on opposite sides of the floor at
Yeah,
least.
on very far away
I've
sides.
never been there, so I'll just figure out where things are.
Oh, the fourth
Oh,
floor is
you'll
very
have
nice.
a great time. Right, the lab you're rotating in. Beautiful organization.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
Oh, I love organizing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the windows in that,
Oh yes.
it's like
It's great.
both sides floor to ceiling windows,
Mm-hmm.
and then like everything in the middle is like kind of white, so it feels very like new and fresh. And
We can make all the TikToks in there.
we
Great
can.
lighting.
Great lighting.
About that one.
Yeah.
That's a step up from where you guys.
Oh, where I was in a back alley. I was in an annex of a building. It's fine.
At least it's not snowing.
Yeah,
And-
at least
yeah.
it's not snowing. I love that. I love that for us.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at with rotation 3.
I think we're gonna talk about our little topic of the week, which is being yourself in academic spaces. Anyone have
Yeah.
something to say?
We
right
talked
off the bat?
about this a little bit, I guess, the last episode, and we cut out a chunk because, like, I felt like, I don't know, I felt like we didn't get to say what, like, let me speak for myself. I felt like I didn't get to say what I wanted to say about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'd rather just have a whole conversation.
Fair.
So the conversation had started with Lennice cutting her hair.
Mm-hmm. I did do that
Yeah,
like 2 years ago. It is long now.
it's very long for the amount of time. Do you do anything with it? Like, I'm trying to get my hair. My hair is going through something since I moved to San Diego. You should see my bathroom, the amount of like curling hair creams and gels and mousses and deep
I'm
conditioners.
telling you, it's the water.
I don't
It's the
know.
hard water.
Listen,
If anyone in San Diego area wants to comment on how hard the water is here, please do.
I would like for it to be soft. It was so funny because me and my roommates were talking about Florida water.
Oh?
And they had been to Orlando, and they were like, it is the most disgusting water I've ever experienced. I don't know how you guys are drinking it. I'm like, well, we didn't drink the tap water anyways, but that was the water that washed my hair. So something that they're leaving in there. Maybe it's the alligator nutrients. I don't know what's in there, but my hair really enjoyed it. So
Oh.
Bacteria are amazing.
Mhm.
So
they're good for you.
some.
A lot of people are making probiotic hair products. Skincare, everything.
I do have biotin. Whether that's a scam, I don't know. But you know what?
Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will participate in the scam.
I do add argan oil
Oh,
while my hair is still a little wet, so that it soaks in.
I don't know if my hair would be.
Okay with that?
Yeah, I think it would. I don't know. Maybe I just have to wash my hair more. But my hair's already really oily.
No, don't. That's okay. The whole thing is like you're supposed to not wash your hair.
I know. I don't wash
When
my
it's
hair. I wash my
oily.
hair like once a week, maybe.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Sundays, and then like maybe Wednesday or Thursdays
But
if I have something.
adding oil to your hair would be the same thing as like adding moisturizer to your face. You want to add more of it so that it's less oily. I know it's counterintuitive, but that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Maybe try it. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't have curly hair, so I shouldn't be giving you.
I don't know. My hair just
Advice.
like if it looks oily, it just like it doesn't. I don't know. It goes like it's like heavy.
Yeah. Just
I don't know. We'll see.
add it to your tips and not your roots.
Yeah. Yes, Asama. Asama just staring at us.
Long hair problem.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do you like your short hair? Was it ever longer?
I had a little bit of an epiphany when my mom was visiting. We have the same type of hair because, surprise, I came from her. But in high school, I had really long hair, like down to my waist, because
Beauty standards?
I just think that I look cool that way.
Yeah.
And then, I guess, coming back to this week's topic of being yourself, I, again, like, didn't really know what I was supposed to look like to be a legit scientist. And, like, I sort of have, like, short and, like, very fine and, like, poofy hair. And it just does its own thing. And I used to think that that's sort of, like, unruly and unprofessional.
Ooh.
But then when my mom was here, she's a badass boss. She's getting COVID vaccine in, like, a couple days.
Woo.
And she's doing all these amazing things. And I sort of see myself as someone who's capable of doing meaningful things and not someone who must have beautiful hair, whatever that beautiful definition is. So, yeah, I'm learning to like my hair, even though it doesn't look like what all the Instagram models look like.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who does though? That's a lot of effort.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Like, I'm out here trying to get my PhD, and you want my hair to be like that too?
People
That's
be out here blow drying their hair. Do you know how much muscle that takes?
My mom,
I could never.
she'd be out here.
Yeah.
No, but I think that the Instagram models, that's their business. Like, they get paid to have long, pretty hair. So, like, if you get money for it, yeah, I'm gonna be out here blow drying it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get paid to do science.
I get paid to read. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna do
that's
that.
what I'll be doing.
Reading and writing.
But you've taken up my love for headbands, I see.
This is my only headband that I own. So
And you've worn it often, so maybe you're joining
the headband club.
The club.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. When my hair is just not at its best, I throw on a headband and I feel so cute.
Yeah.
Right? Or throw it in a bun, but we've had this discussion. My buns are equal size as my head, so that can be a lot.
Oh, something else that happened a couple of weeks ago that made me question, like, why do we have to put up with this? So someone, one of my mentees, an undergrad who's interested in going to grad school, was saying that one time his hair almost got caught on fire by the Bunsen burner in the lab because his hair was long and it was out.
Well,
And then I said, no one told you to put your hair in a bun, because as a woman, that's like the first thing any safety officer would tell me. And he said, no, haha, so funny. And then I said, oh,
that's
like
an
like,
H&S
express yourself,
violation.
but be safe.
Yeah.
But also, it's because he's a man, so.
Bro, I be having my hair out all the time.
You shouldn't, though.
I know.
I put my hair in like a bandana, and I feel like, I don't know if you guys follow Danielle Boyer on Instagram, but she always be in the little bandanas. Like, every time I put my hair in a bandana, I'm like, oh, I'm about to go to work, you know? But it's usually because I washed my hair that morning or something, or like my hair looks really cute and I don't want to put it in a ponytail, because once it's up, it's never coming down for the next 3 to 4 days. Like, it's not.
I want to tap into this not headband. I'm already in that one. Bandana.
Bandana.
Club.
Oh, okay.
I can never get it right, so you need to.
Okay, I can show you. It's
How do
like,
you get it right?
I don't know, but Amanda always looks so cute.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my mom used to wear headbands, or whatever, headscarves, bandanas, whatever you want to call them, like when I was growing up. So, we out here. We can get you some, girl. Don't worry about it. Yes, we are diverting from our conversation.
What's new?
We're just having a good time. We're just chit-chatting.
But what did you have to say, Amanda?
About what?
Being yourself.
Oh, okay.
That's where we were going.
Oh, my problem was with
Thank
the
you,
word
Lennice.
professionalism. That's where I wanted to go in, because thank you. I think people talk about this a lot, and like, I work a lot with Raven, the science maven, who talks about being your unapologetic self in whatever spaces you occupy and all that good stuff. We love that. But like, there's times when being your unapologetic self in spaces is detrimental to your academic career because of racism, misogyny, and a lot of things, ableism, like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know who you know where y'all are at on Twitter, but like definitely the people I follow on Twitter go into these conversations a lot about like what is even professionalism, and like usually it just boils down to like the standard that was set by like white men 100 years ago or whatever that were working, and it's very like everybody has to be with like short cut hair and like a certain way, and you have to wear suits and ties and pants and like really toned down colors, and like that was what was seen as professional. And it's just kind of like, I think as the years have gone, you know, I think that idea is changing. And I was thinking about like the Miss Frizzle preschool teacher kind of vibe, where to be in like an outfit that's like fun and inviting for the students is not that it's part of your job, but it's like it's something that amplifies your presence in that space. And like if the people that you're working with, which in this case would be like students, think it's cool, like is it not professional to be in like dresses with the alphabet on them or music notes or whatever? Like, you couldn't wear that to, I don't know, like a Fortune 500 company, because they have a different standard of what professionalism is. But like, in that space, it's not inappropriate to wear that. So like, does that mean you're not like, you know what I mean? Like the line of what professional is very weird. And then being in an academic space like this, where it's grad students that are occupying the same space as like PIs who have like maybe billions of dollars of grants behind them or all these awards, and it's just like, oh, I'm going to show up in jeans because I'm a student and that's what I feel like. And it's like, it's kind of fine, but like, I don't know, it's kind of like this idea of like professionalism isn't real, or like I don't know.
I see a huge difference between what people wear to Fortune 500 meetings versus what they wear to work there. It's not a lot. They just wear fancy clothes all the time. And then for us grad students, we wear whatever as long as it's safe and you can pipette and do all these things. And then when you go to conferences, when your work is celebrated, it's almost like you're asked to drastically have a makeover.
Yeah.
To look nothing like yourself.
Yeah. And then those outfits are expensive.
Yeah. When I had to buy like business casual outfits, I was like, oh my god,
I don't have money.
Exactly. And this is an undergrad too.
Yeah.
Like
where they don't pay you to work in labs.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Most, yeah.
Yeah. I was working for free for volunteer hours.
I was lucky. A lucky one who did get paid.
It's
but
fine.
So many people didn't. It's just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also, on top of that, like, you're expected to wear that, and then there's also, like, a standard as to what exactly that is, you know?
Yeah. I will never forget, I was at a conference in New Hampshire, Connecticut, probably. New Haven, Connecticut. Look at all these words coming together. And there was a panel, like a breakfast panel, and everyone, all the students, it was like mostly undergrads, but like all the students are, you know, like button downs, whatever. One of the panelists pulls up in sweatpants and a hoodie. And I was like, that's a bad beat. She said, y'all getting my information. That's what I came here for.
Yes.
That's it. And I was like, okay. I love this. And she was from Harvard too. I was like, okay.
Oh.
Like, whatever. It doesn't, like, I don't know. There's just a lot of things, and like the way people police women's outfits and like the colors they wear and the color, like anytime I pull up with anything pink, it's like, oh, Amanda really likes the color pink. It's like, yes, I do.
She does.
And if it was the color red, you wouldn't have anything to say about it. You'd just be like, oh.
Or blue.
Yeah, or literally any other color. Yeah. Literally any, if I like purple or a lavender, a chartreuse.
Oh gosh.
You wouldn't have anything to say about it, but because it's pink and it's associated with femininity, and everyone thinks femininity is bad or weak or whatever because of the history.
The patriarchy.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, you aren't supposed to wear that here because it's like, it's not professional because it's pink and bright and young and girly and whatever. But like, if I wore yellow, which is just as bright and just as, I feel like, youthful, I'd be like, oh, that's very in right now. Which it is. I love the color yellow. But like,
Amanda's just been looking at me because all the colors she's naming are colors that the only colors I wear.
Lennice don't wear no colors.
You're wearing kind of like a dark green.
She's wearing that sweater like
That's a
like
different conversation.
Sweater.
That's fine.
I should really get out of it.
It's like, let me tell you about hair hygiene, but I'm aware of this
I'm
sweater.
dead. Come for me. All I do is lay in bed.
Shedding dead skin cells.
Oh, Amanda.
Just saying.
We love that.
Wash your clothes, y'all.
Anyways, yeah, I'm a neutral queen. That's all I wear are neutrals. But I just like those colors.
Yeah.
But that's all. But you shouldn't, me liking neutrals and you liking pink, there shouldn't be, it doesn't make a difference. I did wash the sweater. Fight me.
What does being yourself mean when you're like basically at a place that pays you to be there? Or we live in a capitalist society. Right?
Wait, what was the question? The beginning part?
What does being yourself mean like to you? Like it's like, because for a lot of people, like it's like, oh, I want to be able to like wear my hair how I want to wear my hair, because it's like I shouldn't have to straighten my hair, like have my hair look a certain way. Like obviously, like, we just had that conversation about safety within the lab space, but like that's one thing. But like I think we're in a situation that is not similar to a lot of people's situation where we're like in danger sometimes with fire. Like if you're just at a desk and you're like, oh, you can't have your hair like that. Like, why can't I have my hair like this? Like, what is it impeding in this atmosphere?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we are limited in like how creative we can get, I guess. Maybe some people aren't. It's up, I guess, to you, right? How much you take certain things to heart. Professionalism again. Whatever that means. But we don't have like uniform. We don't have anyone telling us we can only wear certain colors on our nails, stuff like that. So I feel like compared to like a lot of the working class even, we can take more risks, I guess, in what we wear.
When I worked in food service, I wasn't allowed to have my nails painted like anything but like neutrals or black.
Why?
Yeah.
Neutrals or black?
Yeah, like a neutral color. Like it couldn't be like bright red or bright pink or green or stuff like that. Like
Too fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to be like black or like a brown or a taupe.
Lennice's favorite.
Once again, all the colors are
yeah.
But yeah, even in like grade school or elementary and whatever. I don't know if your schools had dress codes, but we had dress codes. Like we can have.
Was your nail polish like defined?
No, I don't think our nail polish, but like our hair had to be a natural color.
Oh, I remember that.
And stuff like that. And like ripped jeans. I mean, we can't wear ripped jeans now at a lab
because that's a safety thing.
Yeah.
But that's not like a impeding my learning thing. I don't know. When I was in undergrad, I would have lab clothes in lab and lab shoes in lab, so I could like wear what I want during the day. And then when I went into lab, I would just change my shoes and then put on my it was basically like just scrubs that I could put over my clothes. But then I walked out of lab with the wrong shoes a lot. They were very comfy, so that's how that happened. I got them as a gift from my mom.
That happened to me too, like a lot of times actually in Boston, because the winter can be like really brutal, so I would have these big boots, so I would keep a pair of lab sneakers at work, and if I forget to change them, I'd be walking to my bus and then I'd be frozen. So
different issues than me. I would be scared of wearing sandals and having to go to lab and being like, oh my god, I forgot closed-toed shoes.
So I just leave them there.
Yeah, that's smart.
You have to like remember socks though. I don't. Mine were like slip-ons where you don't need socks, which was like kind of gross. But like, you know, if I forgot my socks one day, it wasn't the end of the world. You know.
Let's talk about dead skin cells
inside.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I've had to learn my way around is actually socks. I've learned to bring socks with me to lab almost every day because all my jeans, I bought some new jeans that actually go like
to your ankle.
Yeah, but all my jeans like end above my ankle. So
you'd be a little exposed.
Yeah. So I just wear like long socks and have them like scrunched up for the aesthetic. And then we're in lab, I'll pull them up. But I look so funny because like I have big old socks in my jeans, you know? So that's always bugged me. Like, I feel like I've always had to... I mean, it's for safety. It's for a good reason. Yeah. But, like, have a whole other outfit for lab.
But, like, is it just because you're taller, your ankles don't reach?
No, I'm buying jeans. It's the new look. It's mom jeans. I don't know. A lot of people, that's, like, very in right now. And it's like... Yeah. I refuse to wear... Well, I guess I bought new skinny jeans, but I just don't like skinny jeans. Yeah. And those mom jeans are so comfortable. Yeah. And they're meant to be, like, cropped. Mm-hmm.
So then we come back to this whole just wear scrubs over them. And then you can wear whatever you want.
Yes.
But the thing is, when I had I would just put them on over, and then if I was late for class, I have to take my pants off in lab because I didn't want to run to the bathroom. And one time I was talking to this lady, and I was like, oh, my alarm went off. I was like, yeah. And I'm, like, sitting here, like, taking off my second pair of pants, looking at her in the eye. Taking my shoes off like there's like nothing, bro.
Oh, that reminds me that one time I took my second pair of socks off in front of Asama because they were just my socks to wear to lab because I had Vans on. But I had long socks.
Was it not on the bus?
It was.
Not you taking your shoes off on the bus, Lennice. That's disgusting.
They're slip-ons. Get over it.
In the public?
Oh my god. There was like 2 other people on the bus.
Yeah, but if I was the other person on the bus and I saw someone taking their shoe off in the public domain that is the bus atmosphere, I'd be upset. I'd be immediately texting a group chat. Immediately.
Okay. I'm gonna do it again.
It's like at restaurants when people take their shoes off and you're like,
oh, that's strange. That's a
like,
lot.
I get you're trying to be comfy, but like, let's not do this
That's
here.
Have you thought about this on the plane? Because everyone
Ooh.
can do everything on the plane. They be releasing all the gases, taking off all the
I just don't wear actual shoes when I get on. I wear like my Birks.
But do you take your feet out of your Birks?
What do you mean? My Birks are
Her feet
my
are already
Birks are already out.
Oh, I
But
know,
when
but
you
like
go
you
through,
pull them
like,
out. Like pull them out of the
security.
sand.
I bring socks.
for that purpose.
Yeah,
Just
my
So
feet
socks
are.
and Birks.
Yeah, socks or Birks are the way to
I see.
go.
I will say I do take my shoes off on airplanes, but I don't be doing anything wild with my feet. I just pull them out.
In the public domain, in a closed box that is an airplane.
Box in the sky.
No air
But-
exchange.
I leave my feet under the seat in front of me where my shoes would have been. I just don't want them in the shoe, so I can turn them. Because you have your bag in there, like your whatever. I usually have a backpack,
Yeah.
and I have the stuff in the seat in front of me.
Yeah.
So if I take my shoes off, I can fit them a little better in a way that's comfortable.
So you can take your shoes off anywhere, but not anywhere in the public except for the plane.
I'm saying
Except for the plane.
not just waving them around.
I had 2 sets of socks on.
That's
I
a
just
little
took off
better.
the first one and put them in my backpack. That's all.
I respect it.
Anyway.
I apologize for my outburst because I realize I do that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, though, if I do on the plane, if someone has sandals on, like, I don't know if you've ever seen someone barefoot walk up the aisle.
Oh, I can't do
course.
that.
And that, we can't do that.
no,
we
I
can't
can't
do
do
that
that.
one. We're not doing that one. Like, you stay within your space if you're going to have your shoes
I had a
on.
professor do that to me when I went in for a meeting.
What do you mean? He was barefoot in your meeting?
Yeah, and his feet were on the table.
Oh no.
And his sandals were disgusting. And I was like, maybe
Is that
I don't want
professional?
free-
Oh.
It's not, but he's a white man and he's fine.
She said it.
Double standard.
The truth.
Can you imagine walking into a female professor's office and if she's doing her nails, you'd be like, gross.
Yeah.
But if it's a man, it's fine.
It's not fine. They just aren't held to the same
It's
standards.
not fine. Please don't do that. It's disgusting.
It's really gross. I never want to see anyone's toes.
Yeah. I'm kind of thankful for like the Zoom era because you would have to really try to put your toes like into the view for everyone to see you.
I mean, how often do you see toes
I'm sorry.
in the normal like
yeah,
class?
I'm very confused.
Okay, you have
Maybe
to-
in California because everyone be in sandals.
No, but also you have to understand like in Boston there's a lot of like tech and biotech.
Oh, so they're
and
kind of like sandally people.
all these bros having meetings at coffee shops.
and they're not wearing shoes.
Well, at times, yeah, they'll be wearing sandals and stuff because once again they take advantage of the thing where they think that it doesn't matter what they wear because they're so brilliant.
Wait, but that's what I'm saying. Is that it doesn't matter what we wear. I'm just saying it's
Yes.
disrespectful to have your feet out.
I know, but they sort of like misinterpret it a little bit.
Yeah. That's
So,
interesting how we
I don't like
feel
that.
so strongly about people's feet out, but we're also talking about like, oh, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a line somewhere, but I don't know how to define it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting though.
I think this is interesting because I do this thing that I don't think everyone agrees on. Is like when you go to conferences and you wear heels. Have you ever wear open-toed heels?
I've heard a lot of people say like
Yes.
not to wear open-toed
I know.
shoes.
I
Period.
always do.
They're like toes should never be out in professional settings.
Yeah.
is
But
what I
if your
was
toes
told.
look cute, it's fine.
I was told no toes ever,
Yeah.
and no wedges, which is interesting.
Oh,
Like, why is that
Do
the
they just
line?
not want us to be comfortable?
Yes.
yikes.
No. So yeah. So I've always worn thick heeled.
Yeah.
Because that's more comfortable than a
Yeah.
small heel. And I've worn open-toed shoes. No one's told me anything.
I think
surprisingly.
the wedges are more casual usually.
I
is what
guess.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Whoever defined
Who
business
cares?
casual did it when people were in like typewriters
Mm-hmm.
in their offices. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
we need an update. I feel like you should have your again, we just talked about the whole like you shouldn't have your toes out thing though.
I know.
I'm going through some cognitive dissonance like live right now.
Yeah.
Like we're going through it right now. 'Cause, like I feel like you're right though about
But
the like
why are you staring at my toes if my poster's right behind me?
we'll get to that.
Some people would pay to look at toes.
Oh, stop! Asama!
But I'm looking at you, Asama. I'm trying to gather what you said about it's okay if your toes are cute. Like it's
Is it a cleanliness problem? Is it a health
or
problem?
is it,
what
I don't
defines
know.
cute toes?
Yeah, like who is defining cute toes? Like it's like I don't know. I think if like we should be like, oh, we should never do this. We should set a blanket standard that's applicable to everyone. But like right now, we're not. We're
Maybe
saying
it's ableism. Because if your toes are like deformed, then you're like not.
I don't know about that.
I think, yeah.
I think it's like, cause like I don't know. I think that the idea, or at least like the stereotype is like men have nasty feet. Is like, you know, usually like I don't know. I don't know. Like I've seen memes about it, so like I'm assuming that's the what the kids are saying.
This podcast can be 10 minutes about toes.
To rename the podcast episode. No. Okay, but like I think this is like, let's work through this as a unit, right? Like we just had a whole conversation about like, don't put your feet out on the airplane. Don't be walking around. Like, where is the you can have your toes out as long as they're in a shoe?
I don't know. So my issue with people's like feet being out on a plane is less the look of like me seeing their feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's me seeing like the dirty bottoms of their feet.
Okay.
That's
So we're
my
saying we should
issue.
never see the bottom of someone's foot in a workspace. Is that the line that we're saying?
That too, and I don't want anyone's feet near my face.
Oh, yes.
And I'm having a professional meeting. Like you
Yes.
can wear like sandals or whatever standing over there.
Okay.
But if I'm sitting down to have a meeting with you, then put it on the table so it's between you and me. That's just rude.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So feet should be
Where feet belong, not near
on
my
the
face.
floor, on the floor, but not directly touching the floor because that's where our line was.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that vein of things, are sandals allowed in a space where it's not an EHS violation?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't care about sandals in a professional. Sandals are professional, is what we're saying,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like
Mm.
a logical flow of things. Like,
Yeah,
what are we
yeah.
saying?
Like, would you wear sandals to a conference?
I wouldn't.
I
But like,
wouldn't
okay, it's one
either.
thing to be like, oh, I think I should be allowed to wear this, or like, I know I will be reprimanded if I wear this,
Yeah.
or like, it would negatively affect me
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
my peers or those above me will see me in a negative light
Yeah.
if I wear this.
Another thing. So I would change from my heels. This connects, I promise. From my heels at a conference into Birks. So my toes were still out, but so I guess Birks would be considered sandals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're like flip
And I'd walk around.
Yeah.
In my Birks.
Mhm.
But I was no longer presenting.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would
wanted
have more to
comfort.
contribute if I didn't live in like the tundra for the last 10 years.
Did it just call Boston the tundra?
I would take every opportunity to wear my Birks. Like if it's 40 degrees out, I would
You said
be
toes out.
wearing sandals.
If
Like
it's above
today
freezing.
on our 2-minute walk from like our house to Amanda's house, Lennice was just like, it's cold.
I was, but listen, I was about to come in socks and Birks because those be comfortable.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think I should be able to be comfortable and I shouldn't have to wear shoes that pinch.
I agree with that.
So,
Because men aren't being held. If men had to wear heels when they present, okay, fine, whatever. We all suffer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But it's like, I don't think it's fair the way women's footwear is one constructed. Why are the front of the shoes so tiny?
my toes.
They're
their own
never,
people.
like, I don't know if you've seen men's shoes, but they're always like square topped.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen a square topped woman's shoe. They're always rounded.
Okay, and then another thing is at conferences, I like dressing up in business cash.
I think I look cute.
I think
I like
I
wearing
look
fancy
cute.
clothes.
Yeah.
That's where they get me.
But I think the attention, maybe this is a whole podcast in of itself, but the attention should be on my poster that I am presenting,
Yeah.
not
Not
what I
you.
am wearing and not me.
But then there's the idea of being presentable and like your appearance distracting from the stuff. And I think that's where a lot of the like policing of how women are dressed comes in. Like, oh, you can't have like your chest too exposed, or like your dress, or like your legs out, or like a certain whatever about you, like too saucy of a dress. And it's like, maybe if you guys wanted us to look a certain way, don't look at us. I don't know what that sentence was. There was a thought there, but it didn't make it from my brain to my mouth.
No,
and it's just don't sexualize us in professional settings, maybe.
There's been too many instances where people have been sexualized in professional settings, and it makes me really uncomfortable.
It's like, I don't know, I'm here to do work. Just listen to me tell you words about my work, and that's
Don't
it.
stop me mid-sentence to hit on me.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be hit on in their jobs.
No, ever.
It's just not never. Never.
We're only, scratching the surface and talking about, I guess, our own experiences. But Amanda did mention, bigger concepts of professionalism.
There's a lot happening.
Goes against it. Yeah.
There's a lot happening. There's a lot of structures.
Against it.
You know?
Quote, unquote.
Quote, unquote, yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I just said quote, unquote, but I think it's
unquote.
Quote, end
unquote?
Unquote.
UN.
Okay.
What'd you say? In quote?
On.
No. It's fine. I shouldn't laugh. I can't spell.
Watching Amanda type on a Google Doc live is a process.
No,
but
okay.
It's okay.
I had a meeting. It was me and this big person at NASA that I'm writing something with, and then another person I had done an internship with, and they were like, someone's taking notes for the meeting. I was like, oh, I'll take the notes. And I shouldn't have, because I was screen sharing, and it's I couldn't spell anything. And they're like, you got it. No, but they were spelling the words out for me, and I'm like, this is the most embarrassing. But when I was in middle school, I got 14th place in the spelling bee. So
out of how many?
I don't know, probably a lot. I don't know.
I don't remember. Say 14.
No, I don't. Yeah,
but it's okay if you don't know how to spell.
It's not my fault.
That's fine.
Words are hard.
Words are hard,
especially English words.
Yeah, they don't follow any rules. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, we're just gonna take a bunch of words rooted in other languages and just hope. The whole I before E except after C. There's so many words where that is not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Try to think of a word.
Is it protein? I can't spell protein.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
That's the one that always gets me. And I'm always I before E, and then it's wait, no, it's EIN. Mm-hmm. Protein. Protein. I spelled it once. Protein, TINE.
There's a lot. Anyways, back to our conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so being your own self.
Yeah, I think I would like to revisit this conversation after we're in a different status in the hierarchy that is academia. I don't know how if we'll feel differently once we're 5 years into a project and
mm-hmm.
feel established, or I don't know. I feel right now the way I'm coming into a lab is I'm wearing things that are H&S safe anyways, but I feel weird. Sometimes I wear a tank top under a cardigan, and to switch from cardigan into lab coat in lab, I'm ooh, my shoulders are exposed, or ooh, my chest is a little out right now, and it's a second of real fast trying to get my coat on.
Coat on.
What?
A coat
on?
Oh god. CODON.
When you said coat on, I said mask on in my head. That doesn't make sense. But it's a song. Mask.
Yeah, mask on.
Yeah. Well, it's
mask off.
Yeah.
Ow. There's a pandemic. We in a pandemic. Keep your mask on. I feel that's the only time that I'm but I don't know. I feel because we have to go in a lab, we have to wear things that are cover us entirely, and I don't know. I try not to wear things that are as cute because I know they will probably get some blue dye on them during my day.
Blue dye.
Yeah.
What? STS?
Kumasi stain.
I haven't done a Kumasi stain forever.
Yeah, or the dye for
the purple one for
the purple dye. That's all over my cuffs on my. You could see it. Listen.
I've never gotten.
No, I just be a little. Not that I'm messy, but sometimes the pipette tips be hitting things, or it doesn't eject, so then I have to try to take it off. Oof. One time I went to eject, it was a multi-channel, and we have a little, it looks like a little trash can with a revolving top that swings, and I went in, and then it just it was 8 tips, and 2 of them flew back out, and it was just ah!
Were you wearing safety glasses?
I was.
Wow.
I wear safety glasses because I have regular glasses now, and the EH&S people, they're actually comfortable. I didn't think they would be because it's I don't know, this is my first time wearing glasses.
so comfortable, in fact, that you wear them
all the time
home.
Yeah, I wear them home all the time. I forget them, or I wear them during lunch, and then I like FaceTime my mom, and I'm like, oh, I got my safety glasses still on.
I'm so dead.
Yeah, so it's like just wear your safety glasses, but.
What are some big or small tangible ways that you have sort of like incorporate being yourself, like not at conferences, and like
at
in lab,
in everyday, yeah,
like my masks are really cute.
Oh yeah,
I think that's such a fun way to be, like, show your personality or your interests.
What about non-pandemic times?
Oh, I think I just dressed really cute, but like that whole thing with the I had a different change of clothes in lab for like safety. Like I think I would just always dress really cute every day because that's just how I wanted to dress. And not that I always have to be cute or anything. I just like wore things that made me feel good. And if that's like a cute vintage sweater, that's whatever it is, you know? So I feel like that's like a different, I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah.
I love me a curled ponytail.
Oh my god,
curled pony.
So I would curl my hair, and I mean it has to go up for lab, but I still look cute. And my headbands.
How long does that take?
Oh my god. A lot less when I had short hair.
You could just curl them at night, no? Like put them in. I don't know what it's like to have to curl your hair. Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
Would you say it's more than an hour?
To curl my hair with like a wand, it takes me like 30 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Enough to listen to a podcast.
Wow.
Yep. Wow.
Maybe like this one.
What are some tangible ways to be yourself, do you think?
Okay, I find myself consciously doing this since I started grad school because I hang out with y'all. When I make my presentation, I mentioned this before, but I include a diversity slide.
Oh, yeah.
So people can get to know a little bit about my story, where I came from, what I care about, and maybe if someone watching can resonate with that, then we just have more conversations about these different experiences. Something else that I do is go for colors rather than like black and white or blue or like
in your presentation.
Like very tamed colors, because I find myself consciously being like, okay, dark blue or light blue, but then I catch myself and then I just go orange, pink.
Why can't things be colorful?
Yeah.
Well, in the vein of colorblind safeness.
Yes, that's true.
And readability. True. Yeah.
Shout out, Brian.
My favorite thing on Prism or GraphPad, whatever it is called now, the first two colors of the colorblind safe is like black and then this like really vibrant like hot pink. And I did my entire honors thesis colorblind safe in black and hot pink. So like all of my slides to match the graph colors would be like, you know, obviously the text in black and then like some like visual aspects in like this hot pink to match. And I was like, it looked so good. It was very cute. Like I loved it.
Yeah.
And I had some fun science. You know, it was good.
Love to see it. But yeah, I like the diversity slide. That's like what happened.
I got it from Lennice.
I know. Well, I got it for my first rotation.
Oh, yay.
So it was nice to like let them know like my background, where I come from, and like all of it. So that goes past, I guess, just the conversation we've been having of like femininity and like what we wear, and more like our cultures, because like
being a whole person.
Yeah. So I really like that slide, and I think I'll continue using it. Maybe my next rotation. Oh wait, never mind. There's like no one in my next rotation. Just
just your PI.
Yeah,
it'd be nice for your PI to like for you to connect with them on that.
Yeah. Well, we're from like the same. Our families are from the same part of Mexico.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me.
We've had this conversation.
That's very
nice.
cute.
Yeah, I've never thought I'd find another like a PI from the same part ish of Mexico that my family's from. So it was like really heartwarming. So another reason to be yourself, like your full entire self.
And share that, and that's, I think, a different thing.
Because it helps, like, others connect back to it, right? Like, see themselves in this higher position and know that people do make it, therefore you can make it too.
Yeah, I was, so I mentor for Out in STEM at UCSD, OSTEM is what they call it. And I have my little rainbow lanyard, and every time I wear my little lanyard, I'm always like, oh, I hope I don't get hate crimed, but I'm also that's a different conversation. But sometimes I'm like, when I talk to like the people I meant, like the undergrads I'm mentoring, I'm like, okay, like it like means a lot for them to see someone like in grad school and like be like secure and like okay with what is happening and like be like fine. My mom made me a daughter of an immigrant shirt, and she sent it to me for Christmas.
Yes.
But I wore it to, I think, Ralph's with my lanyard, and I was like, oh, I don't feel safe. And then I put a jacket on over it. So there's a lot to be said about that, about like still being yourself and like understanding sometimes there's negative like repercussions and stuff, but like obviously your safety is part of it, and like you shouldn't, I don't know, there's like, you don't want to be hate crimed for something. But I don't know, I think a lot about like professionalism and like the way the LGBTQ community, some people feel like they can't like mention anything outside of being in a straight relationship in like professional settings, even if it's like fine for people to casually mention their like husband or wife when they're in like a heterosexual relationship. But if I'm like, oh, my girlfriend, I'm like, oh, is someone going to hate me for who I am because I'm dating a girl? You know, it's very interesting dynamic to like, I think I don't want to say explore, I think the word I mean is navigate as someone who's like lower in the hierarchy of academic careers.
I think it would be interesting for us to talk to someone who's, you know,
so I didn't
been a little bit in this community for a bit and see how they've seen this even change, because
like if their status changed too.
as their status change, and how that comes out in like the classroom versus like big national conferences. Lots to look forward to.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple people just mentioning that I think we could talk to, but the thing is, I don't know women or like non-men, but
maybe they have a friend, maybe at another institution. So
we can talk to people. So
So I agree, it's nice, like for you it's the LGBTQ plus community and being a daughter of an immigrant.
People have a lot of feelings about that one.
But yeah, same. Asama, you can say if you've also had an experience, because you have a lot of mentoring experience, I feel. But I spoke to like a younger like classroom. I think they were like words. I think they were like 5th, 6th graders.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it was just so nice. They gave me like thank you notes, and a lot of them was like, I'm so happy. Like they mentioned seeing like a woman that's a scientist, and then a lot of them are also like Latino. I'm Latina, specifically Mexican. They were like, it's nice to see someone else like pursue these things, and it makes me like feel special, like I can do that too. And I was like, stop. I literally cried.
She did cry.
I was at Amanda's house, and I was just like crying. Tears, because it's just that's something that I would have wanted to see when I was that age, and it just means so much for me to be that for them. But do you feel maybe the same one time, or I don't know, similar mentoring experience?
I definitely agree that I would have loved to know a scientist or even someone in grad school as I was, you know, like growing up or considering a career path. I mentioned in our first episode that my mom's a nurse, and growing up, I've always been interested in science and what that means to us. And I think this is true with a lot of immigrant or like children of immigrants. They often see like science career as medicine only and not research or anything like that. So I was sort of surprised to find out that that was also true with, for example, my peer mentor Tara and others now in graduate school. So that would have been nice. And again, because of that, I'm trying to be that person for younger like students. But I don't know, I guess I don't really give myself enough credit for things like that. I would help, I would volunteer, I would go to science fair every year in Cambridge, and I would just try to explain things in a fun way and get students engaged, but I don't really think I mentored them.
But I feel like there's... Oh, so go ahead, Amanda.
I'll say it doesn't have to be a mentor. I think representation is just like like even to just see someone on TV.
Yeah.
Like it's like...
Yeah. Although one time after presenting my diversity slide and like talking about my project in undergrad in my lab reach out and said, oh my gosh, I moved to the US around the same age as you, and now I'm studying biology too. It'd be so cool to see, you know, like all the things that you do in grad school, but also like I'm trying to see if that's something I want to do. And now we're Instagram friends, so you could say
I'm gonna
the way
cry.
I know who it is. But I think it's like those little things. Like, you may not realize, you're making an impact and connecting, but you are.
Yeah.
As you should. You're amazing, so.
I think there's so much power in community. And like, I don't know, knowing you're not alone.
Yeah.
I think about this all the time in bacteria.
Oh my gosh! But this is true.
Make that biofilm. We're all together. In it together.
Oh my gosh! That could be our episode name.
And bacteria also have culture.
Oh, like for the culture?
Yeah.
As the culture should be cultured. Anyways, moving on. But yeah, so I agree. There's a lot of power in representation. I think it's like something that's like allowed me to keep going. I don't know. Like when I doubt, I'm just like, oh, but so and so, or like, and not even like the biggest thing, right? Like if this person can do it, I can do it.
That's I always like ground myself in like a bajillion people have gotten their PhD before me. Like what makes me any I'm not any less qualified than these people. Like I can do it. I almost cursed, but it's fine. Like, I can do it. Like it's gonna be fine. I don't know why I feel so lax about everything, and it's like I'm worried that I should be more stressed out. Like I feel like everyone's like very stressed around me, and I'm just like
everyone.
Maybe you just hang out a little too much with me.
The type A's.
Cause like
I feel like I'm a type A though.
Maybe
it just manifests in a different way, I guess.
Maybe.
The relaxing.
I very like to be in control of everything, is how type I am about everything. Like, I make a lot of lists.
Same.
I want to be the first one there so I can, like, organize everybody together.
But I feel like, at least for my experience, you're the flexible, forgiving, and like go with the flow type. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what I am then. I'm just kidding.
I will say I had someone had told me we're gonna bring up two things here. This is gonna be a long episode, and I'm very sorry.
Oh,
but one that they told me that I was low maintenance, and I was shocked by this.
Have they seen your lipstick
I'm
connection?
shocked.
Exactly, I was shocked, and they were like, just like what you just said. They're like, oh, if things go wrong, like, it's not a big deal. You're very like whatever about, you know. And I think that's one. I'm very like, okay, whatever. Like, if things happen. If they're out of your control, whatever. But like for me, if I was doing like a presentation, I'd want everything to like look a certain way, or like I don't know, group projects stress me out. But like I think since grad school, I've been able, like, I'm no longer the person that has to be in charge for some reason. That like clicked off in my brain in the summer between undergrad and grad school. And it's like, if someone else wants to tell me what to do, I'll do it, and I'll make sure it looks real good for you. But like
me next.
But then they said,
oh,
the deep breath. They said we had gone kayaking or something, or we had been like outdoors, and they had said, I didn't expect you to like hang with everybody like that, like to like be able to hang with people like that because of your nails.
Oh no.
Because I had long French tipped acrylic nails. Not even that long. Like I think they were like short enough they didn't tear my gloves or anything, because that was like my limitation. Was like I have to not break my gloves. But like I was just like, what? Is that what we're making judgments off of? Is like how I have my nails styled? So we're obviously not together. But it's just kind of crazy to be like, wow, like pulling back into like expressing yourself, and like realizing how you express yourself can be like taken negatively by your peers or like whatever, is like this person had drawn so many conclusions about who I am and like what my personality was like by my nails.
Bro.
And it's like there's so many implications for that when you're like in a workspace.
Yeah.
And like there's things like promotions at stake, or like grant funding, or like I don't know. It's like it's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah.
That goes back to like, or I guess like people perceiving you as you are, as a person not talking to you. Back to like my social experiment that I told you about, where I wouldn't say my major to end, like if I was out and about doing college undergrad things. I wouldn't say my major. I just let them guess, and no one ever guessed I was a life science major. No offense to back at the college I went to, it was like North Campus, South Campus, and North Campus was humanities. No offense to my humanities majors, y'all be doing some work out there, and much needed work, right? Especially now in the pandemic, I feel like some people lack, I guess, that side of their brain, and they can't like empathize about things and can't look at things that are going on in a more holistic view, not just science and medicine. Like, they don't see like public health issues and all that good stuff, right? But I'm going off on a tangent. Anyways, humanities are important, point blank, period. But I would always get guessed that I was I'm Latina, so they'd guess a Chicano major, Chicano studies major, and I was like, because I'm brown?
That's what you want to say?
That's what you want to say? And then they wouldn't be, I don't know. I feel like they'd be shocked that I'd be like, nah. At the time, I was a biochemistry major.
Yeah.
Switched to an microbiome major. But yeah, it was interesting seeing that they never guess.
Biokemistry's hard.
It is. It's not my cup of tea. I'm sorry. Shout out to those biochem majors.
Yeah. I don't. Wow.
Wait, okay, so I thought of something. So when you shared your story about the nails, two things came up to me, because you were talking about how, like, the French tips would not, like, pierce your gloves because you have your limits. So I think personally, I've never worked with a boss or a mentor in industry who express themselves in that way. Like, I've never had a boss who, like, wore like fancy nails or like wear out pink and all that, but they've always managed to mentor me, like by sending me things or like showing other ways that they embrace their femininity. So for example, in 2017 there was this article in Stat News written about a professor at Salk, and her gloves are pink. And
oh my god,
that like linked to my thing.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
she has
the
you're
like,
like
I'm a
science
rotate
Barbie and all these things.
Yeah.
And I was reading, and I like my mind was blown. I could not believe it. Because I thought that you had to, tone yourself down to have like this amazing career. So I thought that was really cool. And another thing was, at this point, I've been in a relationship for like almost 7 years, and
wow,
of course, all the moms are like, "When are you getting married?" and then I was like, "Oh, I don't know, like after school, because I have like a lot going on." But I've worked with scientists who met their significant other in grad school, huh, Amanda? You
can do it.
Got engaged.
Not that it's not like I'm not trying. Okay.
And they would wear their like giant rings with the lab gloves, and they work. So I was like, "Oh, it works. They don't just like
they don't
poke through,
tear all the time."
I mean,
yeah,
these aren't as big as engagement rings, but
yeah.
So rings all the time.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, for those of you who feel like you don't really see anyone like you or expressing themselves in a loud and proud way, there are other ways. Or if you're a mentor too, if you're not that person but you want to make sure that your mentee know that this is something that they internally do, like find them resources, connect them to other people, or like express something in your own way, but just sort of do it in your own way. Like, not everyone has to be the same science Barbie, although it's cool.
Yeah. I feel what's interesting too is like, I feel like the way Asama and I express ourselves are very different. And like, I think that's totally fine. Like, I don't know, I think we talk about like, oh, like wear whatever you want, wear these loud colors, but like if you don't want to wear loud colors, you don't have to. That don't mean nothing.
That's true. I like that comment. Thank you.
Lennice and her forest green.
I wear orange sometimes.
Listen, it's fine. You don't have to defend yourself. It don't mean it's fine.
But Amanda did get me a pink headband for Christmas.
I think it was purple.
I would say it's magenta, so I guess it's an in between.
Yeah,
that's okay.
It was more purple to me, and I was like, oh, maybe she'll wear this because it's not pink.
I would have worn pink. I have one pink shirt.
Was it like a pale pink?
It's like a light pink. I would say darker than that, than the comforter in Amanda's room.
Yeah, my comforter is very bright. It's a little bright for me. Like, I don't think I can have anything else pink in this room because that is just very pink. just aesthetically. Anyways, I think it's time we round out the show. This is a nice conversation. I feel like we had a plan for today's show, and that was not. The toe conversation really threw us for a loop early on. Oh my god. I just accidentally hit Lennice's foot as I said that.
Uh-oh. Back to our toes conversation.
No! So let's round out the show. We're going to do some observations, run some stats. We're actually going to revisit some statistics we ran before our much-needed 2-week break. Asama, would you like to take us there?
Yeah. Okay, so we're repolling our participants from the last episode, aka us. The question we're asking, again, this week is how many PhD students are ready for their second quarter?
I said it once, I'll say it again. Not me.
It's 12 hours, I think, before school starts, technically, and I think I need 12 more days of break. It's okay. I didn't do anything. Like, I'm very bored. I'm very excited to have something to do all day, but I just, like, mentally, like, I got the class syllabus, and I was like, ooh. I have to do quizzes?
Oh, no, that's
gotta retain information.
Yeah.
Asama?
I don't think I'm ready. It's okay. We can start slow.
You have 12 hours to get ready.
I'm gonna use all my negotiation skills.
All right, so 0% of the PhD students
in
our study are ready for the second quarter.
I hope our PI is listening.
Oh, no!
All right, well, next episode, we'll be talking about all the ins and outs of interview weekend. We know that a lot of y'all are gearing up for all sorts of interviews, and we want to give you what you need.
If you have any interview tips or experiences that you'd like to share, feel free to share them.
Oh. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at triplicatespod, and you can email us at triplicatespod@gmail.com. If you like us, support us on patreon.com/triplicatespod. That is patreon.com/triplicatespod. And with that,
Obrigada. Ciao.
gracias y adiós.
ขอบคุณค่ะ bye